What does this ruling tell us about the state of democracy on the African continent? Let's bring in Grant Masterson.
Grant Masterson.
Do you think he's made the right recommendation?
We really thought the elections could go ahead, that with the experiences we've seen elsewhere around the world, elections have gone ahead and they've been democratic and there haven't been health issues.
Zambia's elections have been marred by controversy and violence.
That comes from two key moments that have occurred just in the last 24 hours, Dan. The first is that the deployment of the army to the streets before the election is unprecedented in Zambian election history. The real shame about what's happened is that it's overshadowed what has been an astonishingly positive outcome.
Do you think that Zimbabwe is ready to hold this election?
What people on the ground have been telling us is that the real intimidation has not been physical. It hasn't been with the threat of force and violence by security forces.
I'm just trying to see, where we would be if we were to postpone those elections.
And the reality is that no election is ever perfect. There is no election that ticks every single box. It's always a balancing act between a sum of variables, and you have to work out, is this sufficient to meet the constitutional requirement for free and fair elections?
For more on the United States elections.
It's a product of the unusual electoral college system that they have, but it's a system that Americans trust, that they understand, and it was designed with specific context in mind.
Reportedly, this was a 6-month-long hearing. The verdict was around 500 pages or so.
I'm still reading it right now. What the courts have done is they have reset the state of the country to the way it was the day before the elections, which means that they have effectively fired the current parliament. They've fired the current vice president. President Mutharika was the president in the previous term, so he retains his position, but he retains it on the old mandate.
Always a pleasure to see you, Grant. Thank you for availing yourself again to us here at SABC News, sir.
Grant, thank you very much indeed for your time. Appreciate you coming in, explaining and get your perspective on this very important issue.